This is the Aftermarket Radio Network.
Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Walker, and today I'm going to be doing another episode that's not about marketing. Today, we're going to talk about how podcast hosts don't have it all figured out. Thank you to our friends at RepairPal for providing this episode. RepairPal's certified network of shops are trusted by millions of customers each month. Learn more at RepairPal.com/shops. And thank you to our friends at App Fueled. App Fueled specializes in creating custom apps tailored specifically for auto repair businesses. Build client loyalty. Get started today with your own customer loyalty app. Visit appfueled.com. So yeah, this episode, podcast hosts don't have it all figured out. It comes from a post that I saw in the Changing the Industry podcast, and it was a post that Mike Allen made. And I want to be clear about something. The podcast episode was inspired by this post, but it's not about this post, okay? He made a post that was completely in jest. He was having a good time, just being funny, talking about how him and Brian Pollock were thinking about starting a podcast. But there's something that was in that post that was a bit of an ouch moment for me. And he said, that's what this industry needs is another couple of blowhards waxing poetic about how we know everything and everyone else is an idiot. And again, this isn't about that post. This episode, honestly, I guess it really comes down to it's about my own insecurities. Because, all right, every time that when there's sarcasm of any kind, there's usually a little bit of truth in that. And there's my own truth is in that because I hate influencers, yet I am one. You know, it goes back to, I used to be in this coaching group called Apex. Awesome group. I loved it. But part of Apex was they had something in there called Build Your Machine. And in Build Your Machine, you were building up a following on social media, and you were doing that by doing all of this posting where you were like giving advice and all of that. And one of the things that drives me nuts, and it's incredibly hypocritical of me because I do this, and there are times when I do it a lot more than others. And I can't stand these influencers that put stuff out there like they have just got life all figured out and, you know, that everyone else is doing things the wrong way. So, you know, when I saw where Mike posted this, on one hand, it was like, ouch, I'm one of those blowhards that's waxing poetic about how I know everything and everyone else is an idiot. And at the same time, it's like, man, he's right. And I can't say it enough in here. It's not about him. It's not about what he said because he was just goofing around. I'm certain of that. But when I saw it, it hit me as an ouch moment. And when I was in Apex, and still every now and then, you know, I'll throw out one of those posts where, you know, I go on a rant or something like that, or I start giving advice about something. And in this podcast, I mean, just about every one of these podcasts is me giving some kind of advice about something. What's so important to understand is that I do not have all of this crap figured out, like at all. I still struggle with half the stuff that I'm talking about on a daily basis. And it's just that influencers are the ones, I hate that word too, influencer. Let's just stick with podcast host, okay? Because I don't know, I feel a little bit arrogant even calling myself an influencer. But podcast hosts or people who post on social media, they are the ones who are willing to put themselves out there and share the things that they have learned. And I have to convince myself of this. And I know that different people have different hearts about things, but I know that for me, it's not about how I know everything and that everyone else is an idiot. It's that, hey, here's something that I've learned along the way, and I hope that it can help you. Sometimes I give advice because of experiences that I have of doing whatever it was in the advice that I gave you, but it doesn't mean that I do it all the time. I might struggle with that on a very consistent basis. Like when I would do those long Facebook posts, those posts where I'm giving advice, I hated doing it. Man, it took everything in me to hit that post button. when I was done writing it. But I would post it and people loved it. I had friends who would send me private messages about how much it spoke to them or how much it helped them or whatever. Back in August, I was doing VIDA, which is video every day in August. I did an entire podcast episode about this, but I had people that would reach out to me if it was getting near the end of the day and I hadn't put my video up yet. And they'd be like, hey, man, looking for your video. Or my son watching it and getting in a long discussion with me about something that I talked about because, he wanted to know more. So when I look at some of the episodes that I've done, I wrote a guest blog article for Agency Analytics about, the ways to manage your expenses in your agency. It's like, 5 ways to manage expenses in your agency. If you've been listening to this podcast for any amount of time, then you know that I am a huge fan of profit first, but also I do like to make sure that we're managing the expenses in the agency. But at the same time, I am very much a spender and I can be lazy when it comes to this stuff. So there are times that I know 100% that we're spending money unnecessarily. There is some imposter syndrome when I'm sharing some of these things that I know 100% that what I'm stating is correct, but that I may not do it all the time. That's a tough one. I did an episode a while back. Sometimes these episodes go against popular opinion. As much as I like to call myself a nonconformist, when I'm going against popular opinion on things, it stirs me a little bit inside. And I did an episode just recently about not playing small. And if you haven't listened to that, you really should go listen to it just to hear what I was saying, because in this current age, I guess, in the industry, some of the topics that are being talked about are, these $1 million months and 7-day work weeks and all of that. And the consensus seems to be that people are against this way of operating a business. I'm not getting into, the ethics of, it's only about money or anything like that. But my episode was just basically, if you're going to own a business, make it worth it. But then you have people that are just, tearing others down because they don't agree with the way that they go about doing it. And I'm reading some of the comments and everything, and I'm like, man, I wonder what they think of me after, I did that episode about not playing small. And I do care about what people think of me. As much as I like to say that I don't, I do. And I think that that's kind of across the board. There are a lot of people out there that say that they don't care what others think about them. They don't care about their haters and all of that. But the truth is it really does, affect people when they see that stuff. I love talking about sponsors of the podcast who I've already worked with and who I've used before. So today, I'm super excited to talk to you about RepairPal, which, if you didn't know, will introduce your shop to new customers through RepairPal.com, the largest site for auto repair, and through the recommendation of their partners like USAA, CarMax, and Consumer Reports. Our shop was in a RepairPal certified network, and it was great for getting new customers who were looking for more than just oil changes. The average RepairPal customer spends over $600 on their first visit. I loved it, especially because we all know that consumers still mistrust repair shops. But the millions of customers that visit RepairPal.com monthly, they trust RepairPal certified shops for their high quality and great service. And there's no fear about being overcharged, so we were able to just focus on the repair. I highly recommend you check them out. It's the way to grow your business. Go to RepairPal.com/shops, get 1 month of service free, and save $150 off certification. Independent auto repair shops, get ready to transform your business with App Fueled. It's time for your professional auto service shop to have its own customer loyalty app. App Fueled will build an app that launches a custom loyalty program for your shop in 30 days or less, fully integrated with your point of sale system. Bring Fortune 500 level customer retention strategies to your business without the Fortune 500 budget. Many shops are enjoying the benefits. Our app engages your customers with a loyalty ladder, enticing them to climb the next rung, coming back more often and spending more each visit, all with your own app. Build loyalty with your customers to your brand and boost your shop's growth. Get your first app in 30 days or less, all without breaking the bank. Ready to start? Let App Fueled take your business to the next level. Go to appfueled.com or meet founder Jeremy Glasgow and book your complimentary app vision session at appfueled.com/Jeremy. That's appfueled.com/Jeremy. But I do this podcast and we teach classes at the various events, and, I make videos on YouTube and all of that. And I'll see people doing the things that we recommend. They'll come up to me at a conference. They'll tell me about how they joined BNI and about how great it's working for them, or about the videos that they did that they can pinpoint that a certain job came in because of that video that they did. They come up and tell us about that at the conference, and that's where it kind of makes it all worth it. And look, I'm not going to lie to you and try to act like I just do this podcast for nothing but fun or just only because it's helping out other people. I mean, we do this podcast for the know, like, trust factor. We want people to listen to this podcast and learn about shop marketing pros and hopefully become a client. But man, I love seeing the people who take the information that we put out there and they go do it themselves and they have success from it. That to me is as rewarding as when somebody says, matter of fact, is more rewarding when somebody takes the things that we're sharing and they go implement it and see a great result from it. That's more rewarding to me than when somebody says, yeah, I listen to your podcast and I think I want to hire y'all to do our marketing. Yes, of course, be careful who you listen to, because there probably are people out there who are putting stuff out there and they do think that they have it all figured out and that everyone else is an idiot. There are people that are like that, and you have to discern who it is that you're listening to. But understand that we don't know it all. I know the podcasters in the industry, like I know their hearts, and they're not out there thinking, oh, I've just got this figured out. What they're doing is they're telling you a story about something that they have experienced and that they have seen good results from, and that they feel like if you give this a shot, you are probably going to see a good result from it as well. It's hard to put yourself out there in the public eye like this. And if we went on to every one of these podcasts and we were like, hey, here's this thing, it might work for you, it might not. Or, I tried it and it did pretty good, it might be worth you trying. Well, that's not very convincing. And when we see things and we see like hard, factual results from something, and then we come onto a podcast and we say, hey, this is the way that you do it. Well, go give it a shot and see how it works for you, because chances are it's going to work really well. Chances are it is factual, but chances are we ain't perfect and we're not doing it that way every single time. What we say, you have to understand where we're coming from with it. You have to take it with a grain of salt. And at this point, I'm probably rambling, so I'm going to call this one done. But again, this was not about Mike's post, because when I saw his post, I see the truth in it also. It's just that it made me think, man, I really want to get on an episode and kind of explain my take, because there is truth in sarcasm. And I know that lots of people feel this way. It is what it is. I hope that there was some value in this for you. Thank you again to RepairPal and App Fueled for being our sponsors. I hope that you'll listen in again next week. Remember, we are just one of a handful of podcasts on the Aftermarket Radio Network. You can find the others at aftermarketradionetwork.com. I hope that you'll listen in again next week. And until then, go fill those bays.
You've been listening to the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast with Kim and Brian Walker. Follow the podcast on your favorite listening app. Find their emails in the show notes and visit them at shopmarketingpros.com. Let Kim and Brian know what you want discussed, because they're all about advancing the aftermarket.